welcome back to Knits and Bolts Costume Design, and if you're new here, I'm Rebecca. This is the start of a new series called A Jeweler's Bench Creation. This series will come and go as I create jewelry to go with my costumes. Now today our adventure will be on creating Bridgerton inspired jewelry. So come along and let's see how this turns out. Okay, so here's my supplies. I'm going to be using a piece of chain, some antique looking little beads. I don't even know if you call them beads, little doodads. I have these beads, so that'll make a perfect necklace and earrings. And I had this one strand of beads, and I think this peachy colored one matches my fabric that's going to go with my Bridgerton gown, and these little balls here will coordinate well with these little antique looking beads, and which I can tie it all in with the gold of the chain and the bee charms. So let's get this necklace and earring set started. Here's my beads that I'm going to use. So I took the majority of my strand of these off. Now I left this little bit because I do like this configuration, and I've got my other beads here. Now together all of this is absolutely like too much for an earring. So I'm going to play around with the beads I have to figure out how I want my earrings to look. Then I'll transfer some of that over into the necklace so that they coordinate together. So let's play around with this and see what we get. Okay, so here's a couple of my ideas so far. So with the antique bead and these bronze looking bead up here at the top, that looked really, that was overwhelming. This is like 2 inches, so this is like a 1-inch grid that I have down. Way too long for an earring. Then I thought I would go with this middle option. Eliminate the little brass bead here, and that was a little better. And then I was still like, no, I still don't like it. So I come up with this configuration here, and with the peach colored beads, the brass bead, and then this little peachy pink color up here. So I think what I'm going to go with is eliminate these little brass beads and have something along the lines of these two little teardrops together. They'll be kind of put together similar to what is on here, like that. Or I might put them on jump rings and see how that looks. But got my jump ring open, and I just held one side with one set of pliers and the other side with another set of pliers and just opened it up gently. I don't have a jump ring tool. It looks like a little ring that you put on your finger and you just slide your jump ring in and it opens. I don't have one of those, so I'm just using what I've got. I'm not a jeweler, so I just do this as a hobby, costume jewelry, that type of thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is, while this jump ring is open, I'm going to put that on the end of an 1.5 inch eye pin, and then I'm going to close that jump ring. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to close up that jump ring. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I came up with for my earrings. So I have the bead charm, and then at the top I have the jump ring, and then there is my 2 teardrop beads on jump rings, all on the same one. My eye pin with the 2 peach colored crystals and the brass bead in the middle, attached to a earring hoop at the top. So that's what I come up with my design. Now to replicate that for the other earring. So I have all of my pieces ready to go together. So the charm, the teardrop beads, the eye pin, and the fishhook earring piece. So now it's time to get that put together. Okay, all together. So since I am just doing inspired jewelry, I am using modern class for this necklace. So I've already determined how long that I want it to be. Now this would be a little bit longer than a necklace of the period. They're usually more choker style, but I don't like anything, you know, like tight around my neck. So I've got my chain ready. I'm going to determine the exact center, and then I'm going to determine how I'm going to dress this up. Alright, so I have marked the center of my necklace with a jump ring. Now that jump ring is not going to stay there, but at least it keeps me from having to figure out where center is. I figured out kind of how I want all the beads to go, so I will be finishing putting all the components together and then figuring out where I want them to go along the necklace. So let's get this done. Okay. So I have the teardrop beads on, and I have my center pendant on. And let's see if we can move this around so you can see what it looks like. So there's teardrops on either side of the bee. There we go. Now the next thing is that I'm going to be making the top eye for each one of these little pendants. And then I'll figure out where I want those to go on the necklace.